It's always really exciting being the first keynote speaker at a conference because you never know how many people will come. I'm really glad to see some people have been daring and have actually arrived here. I need it too because this is going to be interactive in parts where you already have to do some work as well. Can you all hear me well? Is the microphone focused? Good. So today I'll be speaking about Agile learning, ideating, trialing, failing, or developing fantastic knowledge. For me, I'm here at this conference because I really want to explore what other ways there are for people to learn, and I think we're all really want to know how we can make our information stick in people's heads better. So I hope this will give you one method of doing so. Sorry, technical problems. First keynote. I'm just going to wait until I can click myself. Because if somebody else clicks, I never know where I am. Okay, so just to make this even more exciting, I'm not clicking through my speech myself, so I need to be organized. So the reason we need to learn more about how to teach people to do what we want well is because there are a hell of a lot of boring learning environments. So in schools, certainly, feel free to click. I think we all know it. I mean, I remember my history lessons, and I really regret not being more interested at the time because we just had a boring history teacher. My kids have boring teachers. What do you want to say? Okay, the topic is really exciting, really. But also in the business environment, there are so many trainings and so many meetings that bore you stiff. So let's find out more about what we can do against it. I'll run through the agenda, so I'll give you a quick introduction of the company first, then second I'll talk about Agile learning. I'll actually compare it to riding a unicycle. Can anyone here ride a unicycle?
Tried and failed.
Tried and failed, yeah, okay, thank you. I'll explain more about that in a minute. Then next I'll go on to talking about value orientation. For me, value is the most useful thing at any one time. Agile is a set of rotating activities. Well, that kind of links into the unicycle comparison. What's really important is using feedback to get insights, which isn't only exclusive to Agile, but happens there on a very structured way. An issue for me is really everything in Agile's time box. Estimations should be done by the people doing the work. Then I'm going to try something where I'm a bit perplexed that the room's set up differently from what I was expecting. Talking of which, I'm standing in front of the beamer. But I want to do a group experiment with you. I want to have one miniature Agile cycle where I'm really, really reliant on you all joining in, and it'll be something that'll be really valuable for me to learn. Sorry, we can't. discuss on the topic beforehand, to just explode the keynote speech time-wise. What's important with Agile is actually learning from things that you've done already. So, I've been introduced, I'm Hannah Barlow. I'm just in the process of changing names, so if you look on LinkedIn and look at Hannah Barlow N, you'll find me. I'm usually booked as an Agile coach, as a process designer, process consultant. I've worked in education in all kinds of areas, so my main area is certainly corporate at the moment. I'm working with one of the biggest academic publishers in the world. I've also set in as an Agile coach, namely, I've also set up learning environments for all consultants in one of Germany's biggest machinery manufacturers in the printing industry, and otherwise I tend to work with tech companies, information solution companies, lots of mid-cap companies. I've also done university teaching, so I tend to talk about leadership communication, team collaboration, how to facilitate things, topics like that. And I've done a bit of school teaching and school coaching as well, both at junior level and senior level. That was the scariest one to do. So, really respect to any of you here teaching kids and teenagers. They say what they think, but it was really fun. The company I founded in the middle of the pandemic, actually, as soon as it became clear that life was really changing, the way people were learning were really changing, it was going online. I think it went online virtually globally for corporations and for school and education, is who experts were working in home office. I founded it with an amazing business partner and friend, Harald Gartner, who I'm really grateful for because he covers all the techie bits that I don't do at all. So we have online trainings for companies who are struggling with teams working from home, for institutions struggling with delivering content from home. This is actually my very first conference with 3D people, really live. I think everyone has asked me, what are you doing in Dubai? So I'm going to a conference with people. They're actually going to be there. You know, you can touch them. They're 3D. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to stand on the stage again for the first time in 3 years. So I hope this isn't going to end up too chaotic. But what's on our website is mainly our trainings, but what we actually do a lot is coaching, consulting of teams, of leaders, of teachers. We also, what's relevant in the education branch is I'm also a consultant for stress and burnout, or against stress and burnout, to prevent it. So I can also help in that area as well. Right, I said I'll compare Agile to riding a unicycle. Now, you said you had tried and failed. My first experience directly with a unicycle was a friend had one. She came along, she cycled, everything was fine. And I thought, oh, that looks fun. Let me try it too. Now, I kind of get your experience because what actually happens if you try and ride a unicycle is you think, okay, I'll get on it, you get on, and you just fall straight off again. Sometimes I'm a bit stubborn, so I tried about 3 times, and then I asked a friend, what am I doing wrong? You know, why does this work for you and not for me? And she gave me feedback and said, okay, well, look, Hannah, maybe hold on to something and then try and get on. So you do that, but then you've got your hands full, so you're not holding on to the bike properly, and then she said, okay. So I started the whole cycle again, I thought about, how's this going to work? Okay, I can't stand this way around. I need to stand that way around because I'm not capable of holding a bike with my left hand because I can't do anything with my left hand, basically much. Then I tried again. Then I actually stayed on the bike. Then the bike started slowly rotating. The first time I probably fell off after 2 rotations, but it got better and better. I haven't tried it for years, to be honest. I'll probably start right at the beginning again, but at least I have a bit of knowledge still there. So the thing is, if you're working agilely, then you think about what you're doing. It'd be really lovely if somebody could click. You think about what you're doing, you try and get your focus, then you actually trial whatever you're thinking about. You experiment, you actually try it out yourself. And I think that's one thing that's missing in school, in education a lot. You get lots of information input, but you don't actually get to try it, or you only get to try it at home when nobody can actually help you or see how far you're getting, or maybe you're a not so motivated student and you just don't do your homework. So I quite believe in the split classroom concept, that you get people to prepare for trainings and then actually get them to do things in trainings. Then once you've tried, you either fail, falling off the unicycle, or you succeed, cycling loosely and relaxedly. But you always learn something by doing it. You either learn from your success or you learn from your failure. You also, in working agilely, will always try and get reviews. You'll have a review at the end of each agile cycle. You'll try and get feedback from your team, from your stakeholders, from your peers. And then you'll think about what went well, what didn't go so well, and really learn from it. The other reason I use a unicycle as an agile symbol is because agile is always an ever-rotating succession of activity. So I've done one cycle of ideating, focusing, trialing, failing, succeeding, learning, and then I start again straight away the minute that the last cycle is finished. So if you imagine a red line somewhere, then as soon as one cycle's gone round, then the next one will start. Right, can you go on to the next slide, please? Keep going. Thank you. And again. Now, what is really important in Agile is Agile always focuses on the most valuable thing of the time. Oh, I think I just need to shake myself out before we come back with that. So, with this kid, it's quite easy. His main focus, his most important thing of the second is his ice cream. You can do the same in schools, in the workplace as well. What's important if you're thinking about value, about the most useful thing at the time, is that you get to that collaboratively. So if you're teaching juniors, okay, they need to learn to read and write. Why can't you say to them, ask them which letter they want to learn first. Are they more interested in S for snakes or E for elephants? If you're teaching seniors, you can ask them, okay, there's a syllabus for a subject, but do you want to read some literature first? Do you want to try something playfully first, or do you want to do the boring theory input bit first? Sorry, I shouldn't say that here. The exciting theory input bit here first. In companies I do exactly the same actually, so I spent a lot of my last few months talking to teams who have lost their focus working remotely a bit, and really going through from a corporate strategy level down to a team sort of mid-term, short-term strategy level, and ideating with them on each step in what we call vision and focus days. How can we help these strategies, and what is most important to do now? So I usually do these vision and focus days once a quarter to get OKRs, to focus on objective and key results. But I also go on to looking at the key results on a weekly basis. Could you click a bit? Let me see if so why do we need to get the value? Because value narrow focus gives more intrinsic motivation, especially if you've actually created that focus yourself. It also transfers responsibility. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. So, we've done one Agile cycle, we restart, we've got better, we've learned a bit. Maybe we can continue to the next slide, please. Now, I'd like to do a group experiment with you. I'd like to have one Agile cycle done by you. And as I said to start with, I really need you to join in. Otherwise, this keynote speech will be worth about half of what we get. So I've chosen the topic. With who experts are working in the home office, we're going to our very first trade fair, again with real proper 3D people, to London in a few months' time. What I need you to help me with is, this is what our stand will look like if we arrive without preparation. Not very enticing. So if you could go on to the next slide, thank you. I've got 4 questions, and I'd like to split the room probably into this front group of tables. Johnny, maybe you could just stand up so everyone knows who's, or wave or something so everyone knows. Johnny is mediating this part of the room. You'll be front left. The room's a bit different from what I thought it would be like. So front left is the question, would be question 3. What experience or feeling would you like to leave a stand with if you were convinced this is a good company to work with? So that's probably the most difficult question, but I'm sure you can come up with some ideas. So, do I need to trust the people? Is it most important that they give me lots of information, that I feel informed? What sort of feelings, what would give me the idea that the company is good to work with? I'll give that question to you lot. Back left is Bert was so kind to help me collect ideas there. Your question at the back left, so the back 2 large round tables, is how can we make the exhibition stand up positively visually? You saw it was boring and white at the moment, without spending too much money on it. So any ideas welcome? With all this ideating, the madder the ideas, the better. There's nothing, you can't get anything wrong, we're just trying to learn about it. Question 2 Back right. Which items? I'm completely paranoid about going to the trade fair and forgetting something there. So, ending up without a coffee mug. Disaster. I'll have to go home immediately. So, maybe you, and maybe in fact, the sort of whole right-hand side of the room, the two round tables and the people in the front, maybe you can just collect all the ideas you have towards what do we actually need to take to the trade fair, what should we definitely not forget. The bizarrer and smaller the better, they're the things I'm most likely to forget. Then the last group is here, the middle tables. And your question 4, which actions would you take in advance to entice decision makers to actually come and visit our stand specifically at the trade fair? There are going to be hundreds and hundreds of stands there. Why should they come and visit us? What do we need to do? Do we need to do mailings? Do we need to do advertisements on the tube? I don't think so, but maybe any ideas welcome. So, can you just switch to the next slide, please? In Agile cycles, everything is time boxed. There are 2 reasons for time boxing. One is, I'm sure lots of you have heard about the 20/80 rule. So 20% of the effort gives about 80% of the results. By time boxing something, of course, you stop people doing the other 80% of the work because they run out of time, and therefore you actually help them focus on what's really important. The other thing is my brain, and I think maybe other people's as well. People aren't always very good at keeping focus forever. So if we time box a so-called sprint in Agile per month, or better still, a week, or sometimes even a few days, then that's the kind of maximum attention span focus can really do unless you're fairly strategically minded or a genius. Today, we can't spend a week on this. We'll have to condense it into the whole thing into 3 minutes. So that means 5 minutes in total actually, 3 minutes ideating. So maybe we can go back to the next slide. Does everyone know which question they're answering? So front here is front straight tables is question 3. Round back tables on this side of the room, question 1. This middle block, and whoever wants to join it, is question 4. I hope I'm not getting mixed up now. And back right, and all this whole right-hand side of the room is therefore question 2. Managing to walk over to this side without falling off the stage again. Okay, so I'll leave you 3 minutes. Maybe everyone wave again who are the people who are doing the mediation. 2 people on the round table, 2 people on the straight tables. You lot will have to turn around and talk towards the back, but you might get to know some people as well. So let's start the timer now. I'll let you know when how your time's running. So 3, 2, 1. Oh no, stop! I've forgotten something. Can you just go one slide further on? You might. Okay, and another one. We need to just quickly talk about estimation before we start. So, what's always best, and I mentioned when we went in, is to estimate, to get the people doing the work to do the estimation. So, I'll just walk around. In In 3 minutes, how many ideas do you think your group will be able to get on your question? Any ideas? So, one suggestion for 10. Any other suggestions? 15 back there, okay. Sorry? 27 back there. Should we take an average of, a sort of average of that? I'm not very good at math today. Let's say 20. We have like 10, 15, 27, so let's say towards 20, something between 18 and 20 might be the fair number for aiming at. So you estimated yourself in, not in story points, but in numbers of ideas that each group could get for their question. So in Agile, you tend to estimate story points, and not time as such. You can do that with different methods. You can do that using Fibonacci, series of numbers, which are a bit better. They use nature a lot actually, in flowers and in for flowers, for shells. Can you just continue the slide so people can see this? They have the advantage that you have gaps between the numbers. So you're not estimating 1, 2, 3 or 20%, 30%, 40% percentages is difficult anyway, but so there's larger steps that you can put on cards. I actually prefer, because even Fibonacci is a bit complicated, I actually prefer what we call t-shirt sizing. Maybe you click twice more. So that's a Fibonacci. With another click, we'll see how t-shirt sizing comes about. Now, even teams who really resist estimating can say with sizes, they can be t-shirts, if you're working with small kids, they can be dog sizes or whatever you like. What I always try and do is I sort of say, okay, you have an extra small size t-shirt. That means it's going to be something really simple and really short to solve. You have a small size t-shirt. That means it's not medium, but it's sort of slightly under medium size of workload. I leave out medium because otherwise everyone always just goes for that. Oh, we don't know, let's pick medium, middle value, sounds about right. Then I go on to large and extra large. So an extra large t-shirt task with t-shirt sizing would be something loads and loads of work and really difficult to grasp. Okay, now you can go on one more slide, please. Now we're getting to our questions, and now we're going to start the time. So you're aiming at least 18 or 20 ideas per group. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Now. So please each group write the ideas on a piece of paper. You might have to move around and get together a bit. Right, remember you don't have that much time for this in the Agile cycle to just slosh the ideas down as fast as possible.
टेबल की बनानी है वीडियो.
Wow, it looks like everyone's watching. I'm really scared that no one will join in. But you have a good minute left, and you're aiming at 18 to 20 ideas on each piece of paper. I'm sorry I have to rush you all with this. Of course, in normal Agile, you take your own time, but that's not possible today.
टेबल की वीडियो बनानी है. नहीं आ रही है बात.
Okay, 10, 9,
टेबल की वीडियो बनानी है. टेबल की 1 by 1
7,
कब से पूछ रहा हूँ.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start on learning from this now. So, let me just pick one of the sets of ideas Would you like to just say a few, just mention 2 or 3 of the ideas you had?
Well, with a bunch of them. Well, these are quite quick, which one is me? Let's just pick them on. Okay. So I got one here which says flexibility and competitive environment where staff are open to work together to come up with solutions and ideate. And I just randomly picked, feeling that the people in the stand have good exposure on the topics they're discussing, visionary. And there is a third one, I understand how this company and its products and culture stand out.
Thank you. I don't think we actually have time to go through them all now, but I would love these pieces of paper that you've written the ideas on. I'll try to get back to the stage without falling over. In fact, I might stay down here. Now, what I'd like to know from you, can you just move on to another slide, is in a very short review, what went well, what inspired you on this mini Agile session? Just 1 or 2 ideas. Anyone? The challenge I heard from over here? Yeah, tell me about it. It was a challenge for me certainly to get a whole room to do something. It was scary. Thank you so much for joining in. To think differently? Okay, thank you.
It was confusing as well. You're trying to get some more clarity from so many people giving their feedback, so it was slightly confusing sort of.
Okay, let's go on to the next slide then, because that's what we're coming on to then. So what could be improved next time around? What didn't go so well? It was a bit confusing. Thank you so much for giving that input. Is there anything else apart from that you shouldn't fall off the stage on the first keynote speech that you need to, could have gone better? I'll just walk over here. Oh, there's somebody coming from behind actually.
I think what you did very well was the goal setting. You asked us to come to a number, and you're all rushing in those 3 minutes. We need to get to the end of there, and probably we'll see with that. So I think the challenge, the goal, and then the desire to go and get it. And that's what God did, didn't we?
Excellent. So did any group actually count how many ideas they had? How many did you have?
21.
Wow, you made the goal! Congratulations. Can you just move on to the next slide then? So in general, congratulations for solving this, congratulations also for your very first Agile cycle. Maybe you could click 2 more times. So you started wobbly, I started wobbly, and now you're going towards being able to juggle on the unicycle, being real Agile experts. Just keep going with the slides maybe. So let's just briefly recap in the last seconds that we have on Agile learning. How do you learn Agilely? By ideating on a topic, deciding what to focus on. Then, by trying something out, actually trying it, because all know people learn better if they do something themselves rather than just being spoon-fed. By learning from successes, seeing it's easier to work on something that you can do easily, but also successes boost self-esteem, making it easier again. But also seeing failure as something completely normal. Can you switch on? Seeing failure as being something positive that you can actually learn, analyze and learn from. We didn't do quite enough failure analysis here, but that's fine. So also by reviewing, getting peer review, getting stakeholder review, and also thinking about what you've just learned, what you've learned from doing the work and what you've learned method-wise, and from analysing the feedback. And last but not least, I'd like to give you a quote by Albert Einstein. A person who never made any mistake never tried anything. So, real message from me, mistakes are fine, weird ideas are fine, errors are fine, you can learn from them. As who we go on to say more about this. So we say, if you click again, people who never try anything, never had the possibility to learn or succeed, or only had a limited possibility to learn or succeed. Albert Einstein goes on to say, learning environments aren't me teaching, so quote is, I never teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide conditions in which they can learn. So that's about it. Maybe you can just go on to the next slide. We can actually be booked, of course. It's nice to be here for fun and meet lots of people, but we do actually do some proper work as well occasionally. You can follow our website, you can follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn. The QR code is to the website, but I'll get to know lots of you. Then I'd like to go on to say thank you very much. I'm so happy you all voted. I'm really, really looking forward to getting to know all of you better in the course of these 3 days. I think we're out of time, so, or should we still do questions? Any questions about this right now? If not, I'll be around anyway in the next 3 days. Okay, well, thank you so much. You've been brilliant, all of you.